Hello, everyone, and welcome to Into the Splinterlands, the YGG SPL podcast weekly with your host, Roguepatton, and my co-host, Damour. Say hi, Damour.
Hello, everybody. How's it going out there in the Splinterverse?
It is a crazy week. I am joined by my guild leader, Mr. Legacy.
Yo.
And very special guest, you know him. He's the man with the facts, with the deep dives, with all the data in the sweet PowerPoint videos. It is Tails from the Cryptmancer. Welcome, brother.
Thanks for having me.
So tonight we have a very special show that we're going to do tonight because I'm minting a Rooney, and so is Tails. Tails is going to mint a Rooney, so we're going to do that live, and then we are also going to go over some of the proposals that have been recently announced, and then we're also going over an infographic that Tails posted on his Twitter, giving us the details on the number of accounts that own cards in the game of Splinterlands and how much that they own. The numbers were a little bit of a shock to me. I had to spend a good amount of time processing them, so I figured it'd be good for us to talk about here too. All right, but thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you guys for being patient. I know this is one day after we normally do. I had a very crazy week at work, and I needed to catch up on some rest, and I did not want to half-ass this show. So I appreciate you guys finding your way here tonight, one night after. Thank you guys joining me. Damour, Legacy, Tails, thank you very much for being flexible with your guys' schedule.
No schedule.
No schedule.
Fits very well with mine, so I don't really mind at all.
All right, homies. So I guess I have watched, and I realized that the actual minting process takes a minute. So I think we should get that started first.
You think they could just make a Rooney out of thin air, bro?
I am going to make a Rooney on camera and not get banned for pornography. That's exactly how we're going to do this.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
You don't get it?
No.
How do you create babies?
How Rooney? It was a storage joke. Come on.
I get it. I get it.
You get it now? Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I understand.
Is this the birds and the bees hour with Rogue?
There we go. There we go.
Mommy, how is a Rooney made? Well,
See, Johnny.
So if I can, Rogue. So before you mint here, if we go to the Rooney collection, and you can sort by most recently created, it looks like it could be a good time for us to mint here. We've got a number of Roonies recently that were created just before us here with torches and backgrounds and staves. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this is a generative NFT project. But a lot of people, when they were generating 4 or 5 Roonies at the same time, were getting basically mirror copies of their Roonies, but just maybe 1 or 2 things changed. So this could be good. We'll see.
interesting. So I don't know how to actually go to that collection from here.
I'll send you the link here in chat.
Other than, unless I'm looking.
There we go.
So where am I looking? How do I filter this?
Just price, go to recently created.
No way. Oh, I'm filtered.
No, you're filtered.
If you guys couldn't tell, I like the hood. So Daddy's trying to get a hood. So all right, so recently created. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, mint. Let's go.
So no hoods in the house for you.
There's one there.
There's one there. There is one there.
There's a purple one. Look at there.
3 of these.
Nice. Okay, so the
75,
possibility is there.
77, 79.
Possibility
Okay.
is there.
1802. We're in blockhead mode right now. Oh, look at that one.
That's
That
sick.
is cool. That's
Woof.
pretty cool. I like it.
That is all the colors matching. Gold foil. When was the last? So it's been a minute since we've had a gold foil.
There's not many gold foils I've seen. So far, I've only seen one. One of my guild members was lucky enough to pull a gold foil, and he didn't even
So-
realize that he had a gold foil.
Ooh,
So,
back to
Ro,
back. 51, 64. You got me counting now. It's been a minute. It's been a
so
minute.
Rogue, I will tell you that I had 5 Rooney whitelists available,
Yeah.
and instead of minting all 5 at the same time, I was kind of spreading them out and saving one for tonight. If I would have minted all 5 at the same time, I would have got a gold foil. Gold foil was number 4 from my first mint.
Bro.
You did that, Rogue.
You're going to lay that on me right now?
It's okay because we're gonna get 2 gold foils tonight, so it's all good.
So let's go. Let's go. Two
All right.
gold foils in a row.
So
Let's see it
I
happen
go
here.
here and I go mint, right? And then we do the thing. Go to your wallet. Okay. Such a nice command. Go to your wallet. I don't wanna.
Immediately.
Let's see. There's that. Wow, the gas fee's not bad at all. It's like $2. Flipping
Told
costs
you he
more
was
than that to
scamming.
come out of the LP.
That's actually reasonable.
Oh, recalculating. Now it's 10. Just kidding. All right, your mint is in process. Oh, making stuff from my loins.
Oh,
I
let's
did
go.
it. I minted a Rooney. So now it just kind of chills for a little bit, right? Like we could just come back. I cooked it later. I cooked it and then I come back later to see what I made.
WE is rat teeth, Brad.
Yeah. So if I go to
So if you go to your profile, it'll tell you which one you've minted. Like I've minted 1803.
I don't know, bro. What
so you minted
what number is your
1803
Rooney?
and I minted 1804. Whoa. Okay. 1804 and 1803.
Supposedly Brad's got a nice one.
What's Brad's number?
Oh, we're waiting for that.
Brad. Look at this little koala I bought a while ago. Dwayne, this is for you, brother. Bought a time and attention koala.
Koala. Okay, nice. I didn't even know there were such things as that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like a year ago. I don't remember what they were
1242. 1242. Let's go.
1242 is Brad's number.
doing. Hashtag 1242.
Oh,
Woof.
So it's got a nice background.
Yeah, you
Pretty cool
did.
looking head and crown.
Look at you. I have iris flames. Only me
0.6
and one other Rooney.
is
Wow.
the current offer, which is
Yeah.
pretty high. That's a pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
I
good
mean,
price.
that's
right.
beautiful. Matches your blade too. Like that's a great.
Yeah, and it's headwear too. So headwear is not a guaranteed trait.
Oh, the
So it makes it
headwear.
even rarer. Yeah.
So is that
I
going
was-
to be a component that is going to be swappable, the headgear? Because I see a lot that don't have it.
It
Yeah,
is,
I don't have headgear, which I found quite weird.
Well, you
Um,
don't have hair, so they were just trying to.
So I suppose they matched it up with me, right? Fair enough. I'll go
Should
with
have gave him some headphones.
that.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I wonder if you would have the opportunity to add a headgear if you don't have one, right?
Yeah,
Because
if
it's
you buy one eventually, you can
if
probably.
you
add
buy
it.
one and then add one of those, that would be interesting.
Well, yeah, because they said what five components, right? So you got the body, the weapon, the head, and then I'm guessing the headgear if you got it.
The core, there's the core,
Oh,
the
there's
body,
the core.
the weapon,
Maybe it's
the
not.
background, the head, and then the headgear. I think that's 6, right?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great Rooney. Well done, buddy.
It is, yeah. And like he said, there's only 2 other people, him and another person, that have that flames. So obviously a very desirable trait, Brad. You are a lucky man to have locked down that Rooney.
Yes, sir. So did everyone do the vote on this proposal? Should be coming down here soon, eh? Yeah, it closes in 12 hours. Everyone
I
get their
have-
vote in on this one?
I have voted for a yes on that.
Yeah,
I
this
do
was
like it.
I think everyone's kind of on the same page on this one. I don't think it's as controversial anymore as like it's almost like they just created more controversial stuff while this one was being voted, so everyone realized that this one wasn't that bad.
Well, look, I mean,
Classic politics.
my position on these things still stand, right? I really wish we could, you know, while these economic things are vitally important to the game, I really think that at this stage, we need to pivot a little bit into getting some gameplay updates going, right? Proposals going for gameplay things to be added sooner rather than later. You know, I think there are many, many things that the community has been griping about for a very long time, and also things that should be fairly easy to add, right? That can be done, making our gameplay experience and for new players coming on board that much better. That's just
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's definitely you know, the general take that I think a lot of us have right now. But it seems like the finance stuff is just what they can kind of fix the quickest. Doesn't take a lot of devs, and that's kind of generally my sentiment on that. Is like we're just generally at a position where they're just kind of doing whatever, making whatever kind of tweaks that they can. So kind of along those lines, we were talking about, you were bringing up new player experience. We're talking about players. We're talking about gameplay. So that kind of brings me to this graph that our boy Tails posted on Twitter. Tails, you want to give us a rundown on exactly what we're looking at here?
Sure. So this data is coming straight from Splinterlands Discord. It's in the SM Voter Hut channel, and it's a bot channel where you can run a bunch of statistics on, you know, the rental volume, the market sales volume, et cetera, et cetera. This particular report is talking about the player decks grouped by value, and I've actually reported on this statistic in the past. Specifically, it was probably like 4 or 5 months ago, maybe even longer, when we were talking about bots and we were talking about the concept of decentralization of Splinterlands, because there were a lot of people in Mav chat, you know, talking about how Splinterlands is inherently decentralized. And my point was to bring up this chart at that point in time, because as you can see here, the assets in the game are very centralized. There's a very large top-heavy asset collection here with very few actually asset holders compared to the number of accounts or decks in the game. And so that was when I originally, you know, was talking about this particular statistic, and it wasn't really one that was picked up on or really, I think, talked about much at the time. The reason I brought it up recently on Twitter was because, again, the stat is pretty powerful, because what we're seeing, at least in the YouTube and Discord and just the general community, with this recent proposal of the ranked card changes for reward shares based on the level below, we're seeing a very vocal group that was saying this is terrible and we're losing a lot of earning potential. And really the reason why I wanted to show this is really because only 8% roughly of the collections in the game have a deck value of $100 or more. Now I know $100 is, you know, a lot of money in different parts of the world. And there's also devaluation of cards. Like you might have bought $1,000 worth of cards and it might be worth, you know, $300 now. But regardless of where you started, the point really was to say, you know, if you bought a spell book and have acquired some cards through playing the game, through just your rewards and stuff like that, you know, if you played for a good amount of time, you probably have a collection value over $100. And if you have, you're only in the 8th percentile, basically, of players in this game. And if you're, my point was really to say is, you know, if you're really complaining about the earnings in silver or gold levels, and you've put less than $100 into the game, what are you really complaining about? Because you can't expect ROIs. You can't expect a game to pay you $5 a day if you've only put in a spell book, right? It's just not realistic. It's not sustainable. Yeah. And that was my point. I mean, back in the day when Axie was a thing, you know, a year and a half ago, the deck cost for Axie was like almost $3,000 for a competitive deck to get three Axies that were solid. and you would earn based on $3,000. That would have put you here in a pretty elite company here in Splinterlands. Would have put you in the top, 2.5% of deck values in Splinterlands. So my only point to post this on Twitter was to say, hey, if you're talking about this proposal and thinking it's terrible and the sky is falling, make sure you check kind of where you're at in the game and what your expectations are. Because if you've put less than $100 in and you're expecting to make $1 a day, just not realistic.
Yeah, no, I think this was nice because when I was looking at this graph, I guess I was a little shocked, one, by my own personal placement in this, right? Like, so everybody knows that I'm basically a silver player, max level chaos. I'd say almost max level Rift Watchers for silver. And I have essentially with just those, I think it's my card evaluation was here, let's just go check that out real quick, because last I thought it was like 2,000 or so. Oh darn you guys, you changed the flipping thing here. I don't know what I'm doing.
Peak monsters right at the top shows you the value.
Where are my cards? Is this one? This one? There we go. So yeah, my card value right now is $2,626, right? And that's, I mean, it's not, I'm not playing in gold. You know what I mean? This is just kind of top 100 silver decks. I would give it. Like that would be like my safe. And I'm in the top 2.5%, and that was a really big shock for me. But then I don't know, when I looked at the actual numbers and I was like, okay, it's 7,300 players, that's actually not too bad. Like when I think about it, 7,000 and some odd players is a decent number for me, coming from a small trading card game that I was playing, right? I don't think we had 7,000 people playing our game, right? And we were able to sustain a physical trading card game with actual demand on like a printing machine and raw materials and stuff along those lines, right? So I was almost kind of like, all right, it is what it is, right? And there was this big number right behind me, right? Like twice the size of where I was at, right in that like early journey, 100 to 1K.
$2,000, yeah.
So I was like, stick, all right. I think we've got, it was definitely, I expected the number to be bigger, but then when I realized it and I was like, all right, like realistically, we know there's only a handful of champion players, and Diamond's not, like, all I keep hearing about is Diamond and Champion doesn't have enough people to play, right? They're always like timing out on their rank matches, and the tournaments are only filling out like 100 and so people. So it makes sense, looking at it this way. But
so that's 1,460 people on the 10K and above numbers, right? So that's 1,500 people basically that's made up of Diamond and Champion, in my opinion. Which is not many.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting,
and not all of them even play up there.
Go ahead, Tails.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what is interesting is if you look at when it comes to this proposal, I know we're paying attention a lot to the top weighting of this numbers and dollars and such, but if you look at the $0 to $10 range, right?
Yeah, 0 to 10.
Yeah, sorry. Yep, sorry, my internet cut out there. So it's almost 200,000 players. Roughly 77% of the decks in the game are in that range.
Zero was excluded, right?
Right. So if you have bots with no ownership, then it's not here. But this is decks that actually own a card, right? $0 to $10.
Mhm.
So roughly 77% of the card owners in the game fall into the range where they're not going to be able to earn rewards under the new system, and most of those are likely bot accounts just captured when they're not transferring cards
Yeah.
to their bot owners. So what does that mean for this proposal? It means if you're a real player, chances are your earnings are going to go up. I don't know by how much. I haven't seen the data, but by just looking at this number, it would tell me that if this change goes into effect soon, that silver and gold earnings may see a significant bump if you're a real player there.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, this metric definitely backs that proposal 100%. And then we'll see, I guess, what it does for the rental market from there.
Those are good things, right? I think that'll be good for our community in the long run.
Yeah, 100%. The system is flawed if just by sheer volume, a bunch of people can own nothing. It's like a brainless swarm of zombies, right?
Rogue, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you, sir, hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait.
Oh,
What, the
How did
Rooney?
you
Let's
get?
go. Let's go.
I want
on.
a cut of this Rooney sale.
I want to cut.
Hold on. Are you messing? Like, am I gonna go and it's gonna be like gray and it's gonna be?
Let me tell you something. I will trade. Don't even look at your Rooney. I'll trade you my Rooney for your Rooney if you want to. Right
No,
now.
don't do it.
Stop.
Let's go
it.
look.
Wait, no, you have. Wait, which one? You have like 5. All right, hold on.
Take
What was my
any one of my
Cheapest one.
Roonies.
I'll trade the cheapest one for
You
your
have
gold
any
foil.
one of my Roonies.
You probably got a fish or something, bro.
I'm freaking out, man. All right,
He got the pickle.
1804.
Which I still haven't seen, by the way. Has anybody seen the
1804
pickle?
was you?
No, 1804 is you, sir.
Oh, 1804 is me. You sure?
Yeah, look.
I wish it
Go to
was
your
me.
profile,
All right,
top right, the little red circle.
The wallet.
Rooney.
Okay, never mind.
Then if I go,
No. Top right of the screen is like a little red circle. Click on that. Go profile. There you go. There's your Rooney.
Oh shit!
Oh,
You animal. Nice, bro. Look at that head.
So
Holy
red background, pretty damn
shit.
cool.
Spear.
That is a wicked looking head.
Oh my goodness.
Nice, bro.
Oh, he's so symmetric. Oh, I flipping like the lines on his head, his trim on his and
That
this
core is looking cool, man.
Check out your rarities.
Okay,
Ah, nice, dude.
So-
I will.
Look at those percentages.
So the royal trinket's a 2%. That head is a 0.61. It's a purity
Wow.
tier. The
That's a
robe is a
rare.
0.67.
What about the staff?
Holy shit.
Okay.
All right, so the robe, the
The
sphere,
sphere.
and then the power core is the 2%, and the ruby staff is a 3%. My
Nice,
background
bro.
is a 1%.
Bro, you like did really
Like, look
good,
at this
dude.
one.
Holy
But all right.
woof.
Yeah.
And they're offering me 0.21 ETH. I should sell.
No, not that.
Well,
Put it up for like
you
10
know,
and see if someone bites.
Think about
and
it,
then,
because
you know.
if you could flip that to buy one of the
No,
rogue
no.
ones
No.
that you want,
No.
No, that's
No,
my
no.
Rooney.
That's my Rooney.
my Rooney, baby.
I will happily give you 0.211 ETH for that one rogue.
Nah, bro, put it up for like 10, 15, 20. Someone might just buy it from you.
Crap. Oh,
Five
man,
things
like,
under 3%. Yeah, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good.
Ooh.
That's a pretty good hit.
oh my
Nice.
goodness, it is so cool.
And are we seeing Tails' Rooney
Yeah,
as well?
yeah, let me-
revealed?
Oh my gosh, no. Splinterlands hates dude. Splinterlands hates me.
What
Splinterlands
happened?
hates me.
What happened?
No,
Hold on.
that's
Let's
terrible.
go.
I have 5 Roonies. All 5 have gray backgrounds, and all 5 are trash.
So I was the last mint, like recently.
If you get
created.
5 more trash Roonies, Rogue says
Wow.
he'll take it.
Oh no. 1803. That's not that. I think that weapon's rare, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty
That is a
cool.
nice weapon.
What? Look at that body.
Yeah, look at you. You're
Dude, that
yeah,
green,
that's a
green
1%
core
weapon.
looks pretty fire, dude. Don't lie.
Dude, this guy's pretty cool.
Yeah. Plus, listen, you got 5, and when they do the component swapping, you'll be able to put them all together and shit and make them real
Dude,
nice.
that eye, I don't think I've seen that. The mint sycamore.
I think that body's fire.
Mint
Oh, you
sycamore.
that body.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
look.
Core.
Oh, that's the
It's-
head. That's the head.
It's okay. You can tell me my baby's ugly. It's okay.
No, for real.
Yeah,
dude.
he's cool
looks like
too. He's
armor.
cool too. I mean, I'm ecstatic about mine. Holy shit.
Yeah, Rogue's like, yeah, let's get drunk.
Oh.
He's also
God.
getting 0.21 for this one, right? So that looks like that's like the floor price entry level that people
Oh
come
yeah,
in at.
it's
Yeah,
just
that's
a
a
bot
on
coming in.
It's just a
like,
bot.
and
Yeah.
just takes them all. He's
Right.
gotten a couple buys. If you look at the
wow.
whatchamacallit, like the who owns what, and he's got like the last time I looked, like the first day, he had like 7 right off the rip.
Dude, this is crazy. Like it really did. It was like boom, 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 boom. And it was
Yeah,
like
it's been
random.
like every like 3 to 5. There was like
Man.
there were some big Roonies there. Like if you look, there's a couple below us that were ridiculous. Like that we saw that blue one, right? That was the sickest, I think. I mean,
Sorry, I
yours
was
is
looking at it
super
again.
sexy. But
Which
if you
one?
look at the blue one down, a
Oh,
little
that
bit
one that we
lower,
were looking at.
yeah, that
Look
it's
at
a little further
this.
down.
Yeah, that thing looks crazy.
What
That's a
is
101
this?
right now. I
Yeah,
think.
that's one for like a Chinese. Look at the dragon.
Oh, it's a dragon.
All right, so where was
That one in the
yeah,
bottom
this
right.
one
That's
Oh
sick.
shit.
just hit all the right colors.
Yeah, it
Like-
looks good.
Didn't screw up anything.
But this is what's interesting about Rooney, though, is I mean, you could technically build that Rooney if you
Yeah.
did some swaps here and there, and
Exactly.
we're pretty careful about it.
Ish.
You-
I
you
think
could-
that
you could build it.
Icor's a 1 of 1.
Yeah, it might be, but by the time there's 6,500, it'll go up.
There might be another one.
Yeah.
But,
I
I mean, this is where the power of the Rooney comes in with the upgradable functionality that Matt's basically
Yes.
promised. Because this is where what's different from any other NFT collection. This is where I think the long-term
You
hold is here, is because if you get these collectors coming in here and getting attached to Roonies and trying to customize their own, you could see a lot of people just buying Roonies just for one component, right? And then swapping stuff around. And this is what makes it very unique. And we'll have to wait and see what that means. But even if you have kind of a dud type of a Rooney, like I have 5 Roonies I can mishmash and do a little chop shop with. It'll cost me some ETH to do so, but at least I have a path to something decent, at least respectable. Whereas if I'm just a regular NFT, I'm just basically selling all my stuff for floor prices and just bailing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And that's the difference, right? That's what I love about this Rooney. The fact that it has the potential to customize, to make yours look, or at least bring it closer to what you want in your Rooney, right? At cost, certainly it's not free, but yeah, pretty awesome feature.
Yep. This is far from anything that I expected at all, or that I even knew I want. Like, I didn't know I wanted this. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing this on a card and like beating people with this.
Have we got any dates about when we can stake and can expect to have it in game?
No, I don't have anything there
It's
yet.
gotta be sometime after the public sale or like public mint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no headgear as well. He also got no headgear.
He doesn't need headgear. He's a bowling
Well, he
ball.
always has a hat, though. So, they didn't really match very well with Rogue, right? So,
You're right. I do need some headgear. But
you do need some headgear, man. You do need some headgear.
William says SPL hates him too, Tails.
yep, we're gonna start our own little club.
The Rooney hating club.
Wow. Damn.
We gotta
Worth the wait.
put it-
Worth the
delay.
wait. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen if if I get any like serious offers on this.
Rogue's actually looking at cars right now on his other monitor.
Looking at Lambos.
Lambo time. Right.
Let's go.
Have
No,
you got a
it's
way of
I mean, because I was thinking about it, I was like, all right, like if I rip a gold foil, if I rip a pickle or something like
If I
silly,
rip a
right?
pickle.
If I rip a pickle, and I was like, I was starting to think about what is the number in which I would like release the Bruni for something, and I think I kind of settled in on, I think it was like somewhere between 1 to 1.5 ETH, I think.
That's too low for this bad boy. Way
Hey,
too low.
I don't know. It might be, but
Put it up for 3, dude. And buy us
I
ice
mean, I'm
cream.
not gonna put it up. You know, like that's why. Like this is my Rooney right now.
This is my
But like I was looking at like how much it would cost to push both Chaos and Rift Watchers to gold from where I'm at right now.
Right.
And you know, I think that's somewhere between 1 and 1.5 ETH.
Well, here's the good news here is honestly, come mint day, you're going to get offers likely after mint day on your Rooney. You can always accept them or just, let them pass. But to your point, if you get an offer like for 3 ETH, let's just say as an example,
Yeah.
3 ETH is enough to get you to diamond from a deck perspective on modern easily and still have just buy another Rooney that's maybe not as nice as that one, but still looks nice.
Yeah, you could
Have
probably
a
buy a
purple
rogue.
hood.
Yeah.
I might get my purple hood.
Yeah, you could sell this and probably still get a rogue and pocket some
Like,
money.
Guys, for all of you that like have heard my story about how I was at Splinterfest and I got screwed, this is specifically the thing that I'm talking about. And you guys tell me this is not my flippin' head. Like this is Rogue's head. Like that's it's on my jersey, it's on my jacket, like that's the Rogue head. And when I saw that at Splinterfest, I was like, I'm screwed because I'm not gonna love anything without having this head. Little did I know, Aftersound was right. The day of the birth of my Rooney, I am not disappointed with what I have. But yeah, that is essentially the question: was if I rip something, what exactly would be that price? And I think you're right, Tails. It might not even be anything. I might not do anything today just to push me to gold. I might actually sit on it until something that would push me to diamond would come about, because really the rewards in gold aren't so much better than silver. Like big jump in diamond, right? But so I might just sit on it and wait till like the big jump.
Yeah, I mean, look at the worst case scenario is you've got a Rooney that you're very, very happy with, that in the game on a card border is going to look sick. That's your Rooney. And look, you hit the jackpot where it's of such quality with the components and the background and everything that you can, time is on your side. Look to see what happens after mint. Look to see where this goes, and wait. There's no rush. Like you can't lose. You already have something you're very happy with, and everything on top now is just a bonus, and see where it takes you.
Good advice, Tails. Good advice, brother.
And maybe you just hit the jackpot, and maybe that buys you a champion level modern deck, in the future. Who knows?
Maybe it's one of those that, like, I don't know, maybe a couple years down the way, this is my entry point to get a max level promo on a pre-release. How many filters can I put on this? Because there's a lot of one heads. We had Brad in the chat ask, scroll down and see what the rarest head stuff.
He's particularly talking about the headgear, so not the head, but the other
We was talking about the headgear. Look at these dog heads.
That's the body you need, Damour, with that red piece in it. Just
That's
right
my
here.
brown one.
That's
Yeah.
the brown one. Yep.
That's my brown
That's your armor.
Or even that one with the blue and the brown.
These dog, like that's pretty cool. There's a lot
Speaking
of
of
Wonder Boy
which,
heads.
I send you a link for mine. Get it up there. Let's share it. And they also want some
Let's-
tail.
let's
Get it up there.
Get it up there.
I sent it in the private chat.
I got you.
What's interesting is, with these Rooney, some of them are pretty bland and common, sure, but you have to admit what Nate did with the team. Some of them look pretty sexy, like for generative NFTs. Like if you go back to some of those screens that you were just looking at, Rogue.
Oops.
I mean, if you look at some of those rare NFTs, I mean, they don't look bad. And from an NFT collectability perspective, I could definitely see people getting into this. And we haven't even talked about the in-game functionality of the cross-chain staking
Mm-hmm.
and what other projects could be coming to Splinterlands based on this, right? The key here is, you can bring in other projects that could have cards in the game as part of tie-ins and promotions and stuff like this. But I guarantee you is if the mint day in a couple, 5 or whatever days it is, 4 days is a success, Splinterlands gets a perpetual creator fee of 7% on all sales of these. So that's going to be a perpetual passive income stream.
For sure.
Yeah, that was something that I didn't know. Like right here, they were talking about that creator fee until I was watching one of Aftersound's videos.
Every
They were
time
talking
it
about
changes
that.
hands.
I
That's pretty
didn't
dope.
know that was kind of part of the project. Was that like at every sale they
Yeah.
get something like when it passes hands? I'm just like, wow. That's
And if it gets really big, they get big chunks.
Yeah. So I don't think this is the last project that we see Splinterlands do, but it is the first, which makes it even, more important because, I think we will see success here because maybe now is a bear market and maybe, maybe this doesn't take off like Splinterlands team thinks it will. Okay, that's fine. But when the bull market comes, they're going to have all the expertise ready and waiting to take advantage of that in the future.
Yeah.
So, from that perspective, you got to have a long-term bullish outlook here. I mean, what the team has done here, is impressive, honestly, for something that really came out of the blue that surprised us coming out of NFT NYC. So
didn't even really like just all of a sudden was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've been like super excited about. And it was like, okay.
For me, fundamentally, it's one of the most important features about NFTs is that continual ability for artists to get recognition and reward for their work that they've done, right? And I think especially in the music world and in the real art world, I think that is where NFTs will play the most important role for artists going forward.
Yeah, that kind of perpetual, and I hope they find a way to do this with music as well. I think that would go.
Well,
a
it's
long way.
starting. It's starting. There is definitely talks about music and NFTs, starting to collaborate in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Lorcas says it's huge for artists. Their commissions on future sales.
And I gotta tell you, it's a little addicting because I got 5 and I got pretty much nothing good for 5 mints, but well, no, but the reason I say that is because I'm actually still thinking of maybe buying one more on mint day to see if I can roll the dice one more time. I feel like this is like a Splinterlands NFT casino here. Like I'm like, man, I got screwed 5 times. I'm gonna hit that one outer this time.
I tell you what, I mean, yeah, there really is. I mean, I've those people that have multiple that they're minting and everything, I could definitely see how that like that feeling 100%, because I kind of felt that when I was scrolling through some of these. I was like, there were some that I was just kind of like, that's kind of lame. I will be sadly disappointed if I see something like that on my Rooney. And so yeah, like the thought of like having to like roll again and just to try to go for it, yeah, I could definitely see that 100%.
So what are your thoughts on the DEC proposal with the...
Oh yeah, so
Well,
yeah, we do have those as well. But real quick, Damour, you wanted to talk about your Rooney. Why don't you talk about your Rooney?
He's came up with a lore and everything. Hold on. He's got that.
Oh, no, Lord. But, in general, I'm really happy. I love my green background with a little bit of purple haze in there.
Purple haze.
Well, yeah, that was deliberate. The naming convention. Some of you know how I feel about those type of things. I love my brown head, shamanic something or other with my copper bronze axe, and then the oracle cloak with my stone core. I am considering changing my body for something a little bit more color matching.
Don't let these people body shame you. You don't have to change. You're beautiful just the way you are.
Well, there you go. Crypto says, Damour the Shaman. Indeed. Very appropriate.
A Virus is asking, what do you guys think will happen if the general public mint, if some of them are selling under the mint price?
We're probably not going to see a lot of mints until these sell out. I mean, people are going to try to mint to get the rare ones, I'd assume.
Yeah.
What if the public sale doesn't sell? I mean, there's how many are left? There's only 2K in the whitelist, so there's 4,500 left or some shit like that.
Do you guys think that's a question? Do you think that's a question? Do you think they won't sell?
Yeah, that's a question. I mean,
well, how close to selling out are we already? I mean, is there a number tracker that we can check somewhere? Is there?
Well, the public mint isn't really.
I mean, we're in the private mint right now, and I'd say, if I remember right, there was 2,000 or so, and we've already got 18 of the 2K like done. So we're already like 2/3, or we're 25% of the way through right now.
Okay.
But more specifically, I think what I was looking at here, and what I think is interesting, is there is no bad Rooney at the end of the day, because the floor is a card, a max level card.
Yeah,
and
legendary.
So there is
300.
always
Not
like
bad.
so there's going to be the NFT enthusiasts that are over here on Ethereum. They're like, I need the rare stuff. But you're going to have the Splinterlands players that didn't have $500 but want the card, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I think the floor, and especially over time, in terms of just having a card over on Ethereum that they can go buy at any time, I'm personally not worried at all. If the floor is lower than the mint price, like, I still think there are people that are going to chase the high rarity, and I think that we're going to have a sustainable base of people that will eat the floor, because at the end of the day, like, looking at these numbers, right, there are currently 7,000. There are more accounts that have over $1,000 worth of cards than Roonies that will be available. So in my mind, that's actually a pretty safe number.
Yeah, and
You
you,
know what
have
I mean?
people that have bought multiple whitelist spots, and you have others like Neil McSpadden
Mm-hmm.
that say they want to pick up, another 6 more on mint day.
Oh yeah,
So technically, there isn't that many available. So
yeah. Then
Yeah.
you got guys like Manser who's like, I want 5.
there you go. There you go.
I tell you what was happening day one that like all the devs were like scooping up the crazy mints early. They were just like that. Like, we saw Yabamat jump in and grab like a really rare like gold foil one. We saw Cryptomancer jump in and grab some too. I think Aggie bought one of the more rare ones. Like the whole dev team was just like, we can't be out like flexed in our project, and they bought some pretty, like, I think Yaba paid 3.8 ETH or something like that for his. Like,
Oh, so he bought on the open market?
Oh yeah. Like, honestly,
Okay.
that would be sus if like the whole dev team was like just minting.
That's what I thought you were
Minting
saying.
rare
I
ones and shit.
thought literally you were saying that they were minting and they got these like really cool ones, right?
No,
Like,
I mean, maybe some of
okay.
them did, but I know that in the activity I was watching yesterday, the let's see sales. Can I filter this at all? I would love to just go with the most expensive ones.
There is a way on the main page where in the collection where you can sort by price.
So yeah, I
That's
guess if I go
and then high to low instead of low to high.
price,
Yeah. That's
yeah, but these are like the weird listings. Let me see. I think I can find, because I saw it recently.
There's some gold foils on the right there.
Yeah, but I know it was down here in the 3 range. Or maybe I missed it. Cause yeah, it was gold foil. It had the green head with the 3 eyes. And I just saw it recently too, because it was one of the most viewed. Or maybe I'll just go look at it from there, because I was pretty sure that was Yabamat's. So let's go.
There's like a way to sort it by wallets,
viewed.
right? And his one's got
Yeah,
a
so
name
I
on
think
it.
this one's it. There we go. Last sale 3.88 ETH, and this is
Yeah.
owned by Yabamat. So yeah, so
Now
he
we're 2.4.
yeah, he bought this one at 3.88.
Interesting.
And that's the one that he jumped on. But like I saw Aggies on Twitter. Was pretty sure I saw Manser. I saw him jump on one too. And I can't
So the
remember.
gold foil I like, but anything, I don't really see any other features there that particularly grab me, you know.
Oh, here we go. This might have been
Yeah,
one
shitty
too.
pick. I'm with
here
the
we
more.
go.
There's the
Yababot.
pickle. Finally, I see the pickle. The
Yababot
infamous
one.
pickle.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yababot a pickle.
I like the red core though. Now that's fire.
That red core I do really like. I
Oh
You
think
could
wait,
put
no,
that
that's
red
an
core and then
offer.
put a brown body.
This is an offer from Yabamat. Oh no, he is the owner. What's this?
Just click on his name. See how many. Which ones he owns.
Oh, is that what I can do?
Probably.
Look at this.
Oh, that's also Yaba. Okay. Yeah, they're both Yaba.
Okay, so he does have a Bored Ape.
Oh, look at that, dude. 1511. That one's fire.
Wow. Okay, so look at this man. He is
That's great.
scooping up. Look at this. Look at what he is paying.
So 2 colored and then 2 gray backgrounds.
Yeah, but on this one, like this, I know each of these pieces, like 1, 2, 3,
Are
pretty
very rare.
rare. That red thorns, I'm sure.
That
got the-
thorns look really cool.
He's got the
right?
same weapon I do. He got the same weapon.
Yes.
You love it.
All right, so let's go check this one out here real quick.
That's a bunny. Oh my god. A bunny for a weapon. Imagine.
So yeah, the
that.
cat eye
Just
amber.
imagine.
Oh yeah, the killer rabbit. There you go. 0.06. So that's a 1 of 1. The angry piranhas is a 1 of 1. The sanity lost is a 1 of 1. So the head, the body, and the weapon are all 1 of 1s
Okay. I
currently.
didn't realize there was a number. Where do you
So,
see
like-
the number? Like next to the.
Excuse me.
I don't see
How do
the
you know-
number, but I
how do you
see
know
the
it's a 1 o'clock?
percent,
Okay. Okay.
and
Rogue's
that
a math
percent
genius.
kind of tells me that like that's the only
It is the
one.
1. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was missing something somewhere
Nope.
because I don't see numbers next to mine.
No, because yeah, it's just looking at this, the 0.06. So I was like, yeah, these. I know that these are with the amount that are printed right now. That's basically a 1 of 1. Wow, look at this. This man's got some NFTs. All right. I don't want to click on anything else. I might get hacked. I'm just gonna stick with the Roonies. All right, let's see. So again, we got a kind of a 1-on-1 body. That headwear is pretty rare, but at a 1%. Ruby staff is ours. So really, it's just kind of the body and the pink background on this one, which goes great with that body.
Yeah, but I don't like the orange core. Like it doesn't need to be there.
It doesn't need to be there. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
the more you're
so-
muted.
Do what?
Well,
I
I
didn't
see
mute
the
him.
more over there, like talking and shit and
Mm.
laughing, but like nothing's coming out.
Nothing's coming out.
So
So yeah, this is one of the ones that he bought. So he bought the gold foil.
Not sure how that happened.
he's back.
Pretty rare, but
How was your vacation, Damour? Tell us.
Yeah, no idea how that happened. But I was
Rogue
saying
put you in timeout. He
those
said,
thorns, I think, would really look hot on my Rooney. They would really go well with my brown, that red.
Your
well, you know
brown
what?
head.
You tell him your struggle and your journey of being bald all these years, and you tell him you need some thorns.
he's like, I
Not
need
really a
it.
struggle with the baldness. I've accepted that a long time ago, my friend.
Oh my goodness. All right, so Cryptomancer has 1178. So let's
He's
go.
got a Bored Ape.
back. Yeah, his Bored Ape. That was like, my goodness.
Beautiful. Like my goodness. This
Russian hat and all.
There we go.
Look at that, dude.
I
A
knew
red
I knew
bowling
he I
ball.
knew he bought one. And oh no, did he mint this?
No.
Or no, these
Well,
are
that's a lucky mint.
offers.
Gold foil. If it
I'm
was
not
minted.
one
No
for
way.
conspiracy theories, but if he minted it,
Just
No,
look at the bottom. You'll
there's
see.
no
You'll be
way.
able to see. You'll see the transactions. You'll see who
Sale. No, he did.
Yeah.
Listed by Tetsu. and bought.
bought it. He bought it. Okay.
This guy, he's just like, I'm gonna throw 3 ETH on it, and
Three.
Mancer's like,
there you go.
yoink. All right,
Alright.
so what do we got? Really just a nice gold foil here.
Gold foil was the only.
he's looking at the trades and said,
Molten
"Really just a
fire, molten
nice gold
core."
foil, yeah."
I mean,
Interesting.
this is like a good symmetric Rooney. I love the look of it.
it's like those people at the art gallery fucking talking about art.
Dude,
and shit.
F you, man. All right,
Like-
look, I've got my bathrobe on. I am on the Ethereum blockchain, and we're being bougie, okay? All right, we're doing bougie.
Some
Art
bougie
stuff.
art talk going on. Right. The symmetry.
You know what's messed up? Like I've kind of dogged the dim gray background, but for this, it is
It looks
Yeah,
good.
It
beautiful.
matches the robe, like
Because
it's all
it
it's
matches.
nice. Look at the
Exactly.
It's
crown
just-
on it.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
And then this like gold, like the
Goes
gold
well with the gold
trim
foil.
on his weapon goes with the foil. Like this
Sure.
is
Sure.
this is nice on the eyes. Like 100%. Here, hold on, pinky out.
Pinky out. Oh my goodness.
This is
We're
nice on
going
the
ISO.
eyes.
Sounds like Jackal.
Sorry. Should we go? Let's go like this. Let's go.
So what about the
number
DC proposals, man?
1-8. Hold on. We're gonna go
Some more Roonies,
appreciate.
some more Roonies.
We're gonna go
Yeah, we're
appreciate
gonna
our
go
boys.
Appreciate the Roonies, baby. Oh, look at the
1-8,
core though.
3. Who's this now?
Look at this guy.
Who's this
Oh,
now?
This is Tails.
Why are you talking
Oh, this
shit,
is
bro?
Tails,
Look
right,
at that. Look
Tails.
at
Yeah,
that
they wanted to
purple
see
head,
Tails.
bro. With the purple battle, like, come on, bro.
I
Look at
actually really
those.
like this one.
Yeah, look at that body with all those blue spheres in it too.
I like
Look at
this
that
this
body.
sphere. Oh, and look at this one. This sphere's
Yeah.
got a. And honestly, that body, like this is.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, hold on.
You're
Let's set
cheating
these
Out
on
of-
up.
your Rooney.
Out of those, I like the gold core the most.
I'm feeling
look
a
at
little
that.
uncomfortable with how you're moving
How
the
you
mouse over
talking
my
about
Rooney.
his Roonies?
Just like, I was talking when I saw Ashley's NFT Rooney on Twitter. I was like, "Hey, girl, nice."
working
Or
on
I was
my
like, "Hey, girl,
core."
that core is fine," or something like that.
He's like, I'm
I was
working
on my Rooney pickup lines.
That core is fine.
Be like,
Right?
"Damn, girl, that's a fine core." Jeez.
That looks like some type of like AI.
Yeah, like a slot
Core.
where you put something in. Boop.
Boop.
Oh, it's a coin. It's a coin slot, right? Okay. That's not what I was getting there, but
Oh yeah. All right, so power core is called the Jet Lockstone.
the jet lockstone. Okay,
That's not bad.
interesting.
It's not bad. That's not a bad Rooney. I just
Look-
I don't think Tails likes the gray background.
Look at the
Yeah,
gold
look at
core.
that. I mean, even that body's good. Look at that. Look at that core. That core is nice. I mean, I think. he did
Honestly, this
pretty
has got
good.
some good color
Yeah.
going with it. This is great. He does. I think there's actually, to what Manser was talking about, like, what are the odds?
Well, look
Same
at the,
weapon,
the
same
mint
head.
numbers. Look at the mint numbers. I skipped like 100 and some mints, and I still got the same thing.
Wow.
That's my luck. That's how I roll.
Go into that one for me, the gold core one. Yeah. I wanna see
You
the
want
name of
what?
that
This
core.
one?
Yeah, I want to see the name of that core.
Desert Pearl.
Desert Pearl. What a nice name.
So essentially, Tails here is gonna try to corner market on Unholy Mojo and the Fine Grade X. That's he's gonna corner the market on these two components.
Look at the value on this one, or being offered, right? So 0.3 Ether.
No.
Is that right?
That's what I'm trying to sell it
That's-
for.
This
Oh, that's
this
what you're
boy's trying
selling
to
it.
sweep.
All right. Okay. I get you.
For you,
Yeah.
Damour, I'll sell it for 0.356 ETH.
I gotcha.
There was no discount there.
Clearly, there's no discount. That is more than mint price,
Ooh,
right?
there
So
you go. That's what I thought. I thought this core was pretty rare.
Yeah,
Wow,
like
you
that
have
thing
a-
looks good,
Look
bro.
at this. You have a rare body and a rare core on this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
dude.
like that body. That body looks really cool.
It's got like a that's
It does, it
definitely
looks
your
really good.
stereotypical
Well,
Terminator.
the Cylon head is a little bit weird.
Yeah, you need to change the head, but the body and
That
the
is Star
sword, the
Galactica.
sword goes
for those
good with
who
that
don't know where
body.
the Cylon comes from.
The sword does go good with that body.
Honestly, you could take the core, right? Take that core and put it on the other blue body with the that looks like body armor.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is the first site that comes up with the Rooney costume kit, where you can basically do the doll kind of, take your parts and kind of make your own Rooney. That's going to be a sweet site. That's going to get a lot of traffic. So
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
because
Pick out your
it's
look
gonna be
before you
popular.
actually have to
Ooh.
buy, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that one just definitely does rock that core really well. That's not nice.
Yeah, but the weapon kills it. We need some sort of
Yeah,
bat
right.
or something or a sword.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if that was a pickle. That would like.
That to be a blue.
Imagine
pickle.
if you were just holding a fish, how gorgeous that would
Yeah, the fish. The
Uh,
fish would be it.
what a joke.
And
be. I
then
think
yeah, this
didn't
radiant
Aptosan get a fish?
plate. Yeah, these are pretty rare items. Yeah, you did well. You're just scattered out. So like, yeah, you're definitely, I think on the component side, gonna come. So do you have everything listed at floor?
I just have one listed right now, just the first one to get rid of.
Okay.
So
Well, isn't no.
Awesome. All right. So, any other final comments we want to make about this chart? I'm optimistic now. I thought about it, and I think I'm optimistic looking at this chart. And it can only go up from here, really.
Look, yeah, I mean, it also, in my mind, it gives us a really, or a more accurate figure of real players that we have, right? Because the 100 and above is kind of, no, not even the 100, maybe even the
Like the 1,000.
The 1,000 and above is kind of where I see real players.
It's a real dedicated base there, I would say.
Sure.
I would say, definitely 100 and above is reasonable. Even some in the 10 to 100, maybe, silver and bronze players coming out. But I think the way you have to look at it here is, yes, the numbers are maybe lower than we anticipated, but look at the market. Look how much we've sold in the market over the last, couple releases with just this core community, right? Let's just say 20 to 40,000 as a number, right?
Yeah.
But look,
that's not bad.
We have so much room for growth with projects like Rooney that could take that 20,000 number and make it 200,000 by the next bull market. So that the ability for us to have a market where we're at right now with 20 to 40,000 and knowing that we could probably 10x that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to feel good about that because
knowing that's where we're at without land, that's where we're at without without the bull run, without it's like we're good.
So let's relate those numbers back to collections, right? So Chaos Legion, the common cards, right? If we max those common cards, there will only be about 4,375 of those max, whatever it may be. So those numbers already eat up everything in Chaos Legion, which tells me we have a very, very good chance of selling out. Just if this community levels up those common cards, right?
Yeah.
That small piece. And that's good. That's a good indication for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the behavior is such where the 1BCX bots and everything seed way to real players that want to play in gold and diamond and level up their cards, it's great for the ecosystem just because of the deflationary nature of the cards. And that's what the company is trying to drive that behavior because they know what that means based on the card numbers, and that's before land, right? So, I mean, we just have to see it take effect, right? And what's I think been kind of this ball and chain attached to our leg as we're kind of trekking along here is the bots. I mean, yes, they provide a purpose, but in a lot of cases, they're extra weight to where we want to go because they're basically extracting value. They're not adding any value to the ecosystem. And from a new user experience perspective, they're really, probably taking a lot of people and sending them packing after playing just one day. I don't know about you guys, but if you've introduced players to the game, my luck in having players stick with the game has not been very good. And I've introduced it to players that this game is meant for, right? TCG players, Hearthstone players, mobile players, etc. And that's a little disheartening. And
I think they're like when I try to remember like what my experience was in the very beginning, I know that there was definitely a huge barrier. There's a lot of stuff that I know now that I didn't know then, but I was at a moment of euphoria with the bull market and with my newfound like knowledge of crypto. Like crypto was still new, everything was new, everything was exciting, everything was crazy. And that was, I think that emotion was enough to get me through that BS in the beginning. And I wonder if now, like, I don't know if any of that actually exists. Like, I wonder if the environment has changed to the point where, like, the people coming in aren't going to be as tolerant to the illegitimacies or the the experiences that they have in game, very much.
And this is for me is the large concern, right? Our new player experience right now is terrible. And this is why I feel that the dev team really need to pivot their focus a little bit. Just a little bit of tweaks. Just do the easy stuff.
Yeah.
Get something to make that experience a little bit better. And that'll go a long way in growing our community and getting new people to stick around.
Yet I know we wanted to talk about the DEC proposals as well in the stream tonight, and one of the things
we could touch on them.
Just relating that to Damour's comment there about the new user experience. One of the things that I've been, if you've been watching my Twitch streams or watching my Splinterlands TV streams, one of the things that I think is seriously broken in the game right now is the rating and ranking system. And the experience for specifically for diamond / champion climbers, it's brutal. And that needs to get fixed. And I don't want to go open up that rabbit hole because I could talk for an hour just on that topic alone. But in relation to that, you probably saw some of my tweets about the champion SPS reward pool. There's literally roughly less than 1/4% of players in our player base getting 30% of the SPS rewards.
Yeah.
And it's a reflection of the rating system. And the rating system was developed, 3 years ago or whatever it is now, and it doesn't fit with the current rank reward changes that have happened. And my I guess my statement here would be, it needs to get fixed. It needs to get attention on the town hall. The team needs to address it, because you want to talk about a bad user experience for new users. There's some bad user experience for that 2.5% of the player base right now that's happening.
Yeah.
And I won't go into the details, but I'll just say that basically with the way the rating system is happening now, if you lose a match to someone with a lower rating than you in Diamond 1, you basically need to win 3 matches or more, 3.5 in some cases, to make up for that one loss. So you have to basically have a 75% win rate or a long win streak to get out of Diamond 1 into Champion 3. And that's very painful. So if you have the skill and you have the assets, but yet it's literally, an RNG coin flip where you just like pray into the RNG gods, say, hey, please let me not lose this when I put the best team down and get screwed. That's not a good gaming experience. And they need to fix that. And the reason why I bring that up is because, we're talking about this DEC proposals. It's just, in my mind, a bad look to be talking about changing the game on Rift Watchers and nodes.
Oh no, bad timing. It was like right at the cliffhanger moment of like, this is why we don't do this proposal.
Well,
So
this is
why?
that was my pause for dramatic effect. No, that was
Yes,
seriously
I love
my
it.
network. It was my
Perfect.
network again. But where I was going with that is, look, Rift Watchers is like a month old.
Mhm.
Validator node licenses aren't even live. There's not even one productive validator node live in the ecosystem, and you're changing the entire way that it was built from and proposed as a bonded SPS vehicle to now switch it to DEC. It's not even live. You don't have anything even in testnet yet. So why are we talking about changing those things when the community has obviously said, look, here are things you can do that move the needle in the right direction with LP rewards, with Lux Vega, and then they release this stuff literally a minute after the town hall closes without even mentioning it on the town hall. It's just a bad look and bad timing. I think they've got the message, and I think they're changing course. They've introduced a proposal, for the LP rewards subsequently, etc. So
Yep.
things
And
are
they announced
happening.
Lux Vega is going to be purchasable in DEC. Well, Aggie announced that everything is going to be purchasable with DEC going forward.
And I understand that that's a valuable thing, but the nodes are something else. They shouldn't change that to now suddenly you can purchase it with DEC. Rift Watchers make sense. Other game assets make sense, but nodes were specifically built around SPS, and I think one of our YGG members said it very well. You invest a certain amount of SPS upfront in order to get SPS back over time across a longer period.
Yes,
right?
Bonded SPS, yeah.
Bonded SPS.
Well, here's the thing. So we had a conversation earlier this morning with Crypto Llama and Dwayne and Steve and Jim, for example. It'll be on Crypto Llama's channel coming
It'll
up
be on
here.
what?
It'll be on Crypto Llama's YouTube channel, I'm sure, in the next day or two. Well, we were talking about the topic, and really what it comes down to is, again, going back to the
powerhouse lineup.
Yeah, right.
It was a pretty interesting conversation. But it goes back to that chart we talked about earlier with the number of assets in the game being like roughly, let's say, the top 8% of the player base holding most of the assets. Well, if you think of that as a rock, they're literally trying to squeeze water out of a rock right now in a bear market, and there's nothing left to give. Unless we get external investors or new users into the game, by changing the rules of the game for Rift Watchers and nodes, there's no guarantee that people would be able to take advantage of that bargain or that value and scoop up all of that DEC and return it to PEG. And that would be a horrible experience for the economy, because now you've pretty much
cards are going to dump.
You basically flipped all the switches, right? You've basically used your nitro boost, and you just didn't even get close to the finish line, and that would be a horrible experience. And again, is if you're going to make such drastic changes to the ecosystem, let's see the data, let's see the modeling that shows, if we do this with the number of users that we have and the expected capital and the expected purchases, here's the amount of the DEC that would be burned in the ecosystem, here's the relative impact in multiple models of what it would do to the DEC price, etc. If you show me all of that data, then I might vote yes and say, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
But the proposal we got was literally a copy and paste with no data and no background and no transparency. So I really, me personally, I can't support it because, I just see too much room for, look, we have a discount on Chaos Legion packs. No one's buying those. We have a discount on Tower Defense packs. They provide APR, great APR, and a great discount for those packs. No one's buying those. So now if you put Rift Watchers and nodes out there for DEC, who's going to buy it if no one has money? If everyone's basically tapped out of fiat and external capital,
I want
where's
to
the money going to come from?
Damn marketing.
And fundamentally, that ties back into all of these issues, the rating issues, the who's coming to buy, ties back into our new player base and getting new people on board, right? How do we do that? Make the new player experience better. It's very, very easy, guys.
I can see all this. For me, I feel like I know my brakes have been on in terms of spending on new cards because of all the new products that they keep releasing, right? So Rooney was the last one, and then now I'm still waiting for Lux Vega. As soon as Lux Vega's done, then I can start to look elsewhere again right now. But I feel like there's been something around the corner for the last 2 months, right? I got into Rift Watchers. I did Splinterfest. I've done Rudy. I'm doing Vega, right? So I am spending money, right? It's not on Chaos, but that's because they've given me all this other stuff to get into, right? So in my opinion, I'm waiting for after Vega. As soon as they announce Vega and they're done with Vega, we might get a break until Rebellion. And if we get a break, it'll be very interesting to see what comes out of at that point, right? Like when it's just a steady flow of accumulation at that point, right? When we're not hyped on all this other stuff, what's the next hype going to be? Well, it's going to be the airdrops. An airdrop in Rift Watchers, an airdrop in Chaos Legion, right? Those will be the next things that we push for. Because right now we're just super spread thin. Like, people are spending money. You know what I mean? Like, everything that's going on in Rooney, everything that went on for GLG, you know, and you know what little bit went on for the tower defense, and so in my mind, we are spending money. People are spending money. The player base is spending money. They're just not doing it to level up their decks because we've got other stuff going on right now, and there's no pressure to do so yet, right? Like the concept that we have time still exists, right? And so we'll see what happens after Lux Vega, because I know that's personally where I'm at. Is as soon as Vega's gone, then I can reevaluate my position and start to re-strategize and start pushing to gold at that point, right? Because right now I'm at silver, and that's where I'm staying until they stop releasing new products. But in terms of my opinion on the proposals, like, I think I'm kind of the general mindset that, like, I don't care about the nodes. I agree that I think they're like an SPS thing. They've always been an SPS thing, and so it probably needs to stay that way. But I do believe, I 100% believe in the DEC as a product-backed stablecoin. It will be 1,000 per dollar, and it will get there, and then we will start to see the burning of SPS to generate the DEC needed to purchase stuff. Like, that mechanism I believe in, because Splinterlands makes a good product. I literally just said I've been spending a lot of money, like, recently, right?
Yeah.
So in my mind, and this is why I asked in the town hall, I said, are you going to sell Lux Vega and DEC? You guys said product-backed stablecoin, your product should be in DEC. And they said, that makes sense. That's a good idea. And then they were like, well, hell, we've got these other products that we're not selling in DEC. Maybe we should see if the community wants to sell those in DEC. And for me, that was just common sense. I was like, all right, yeah, they made a product and it probably should be sold in DEC. Now we have the technology. Now that we have the system to burn, and now that we said it's going to be a product-backed stablecoin, it makes sense that the products get sold in DEC. And then now, so it's like everybody's backlash on this. I'm just like,
well, I mean, I understand it a little bit. I mean, I think it's awesome because I want it to be like, you know, everything in DEC, tower defense, like everything you could think of DEC. But I think it should be everything moving forward, because this is going to tank the card market for sure. Because you're going to get the Rift Watcher packs for half off, basically.
Yeah. Krypton is asking, Rogue, what are you thinking? What are you thinking behind spending big relatively on promos when you could spend that on your main deck? End of the day, I identify as a champion player. I just don't have a champion deck to match it. And so I view these moments as opportunities to get champion cards at their floor price, the way that I see them. So I will jump on these now while I have the opportunity, and then I will have them for when I'm a champion player later, right? Plus they're usable assets at this point. I was going to pass on Lux Vega. 100% I was going to pass on Lux Vega. But I've had many conversations about the summoners specifically, and now I'm kind of the opinion that it's a necessity and will probably be one of the most appreciating summoners in existence, because as we start to think about like later down the road, this is probably going to be a staple summoner, because like let's say like from the brawl
The
perspective.
also the first like Splinterfest summoner card ever, like
Yeah,
that,
yeah. I mean, it's
that's
got all of that aspect to it, but like at the end of the day, it's a max level legendary summoner, and
Neutral
when
legendary.
when you're leveling up your deck, the monsters are always cheaper than the summoners. Like,
Yeah, summoners
so
are the most important. Always
there
has
is
been.
logic behind maybe you're just a one summoner. Like, what if you could just be a one summoner player?
Deck. Yeah.
What if you can own all the monsters and only play Lux Vega? I think that might be powerful enough. I mean, the Jotuns and the Kitties, like with their abilities, are pretty crazy, but just a standard shield, speed, health, and I can play it for every rule set, and that then decreases the overhead of my deck by an obnoxious amount, right? Like, there's logic there. And so I think from a new player experience, maybe that is like the one and done buy, maybe
My concern comes in if they exclude promo cards, because this would be a promo card, right? So
maybe
in tournaments,
no legendary
things like that, you won't be able to play with said promo card. So that's the only issue I see with going with the one summoner, deck. But other than that, I see your point. I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's
so. Krypton
very
says,
good.
counterpoint: you could spend that money now, upgrading your deck now, then renting those promos. Hopefully, a fraction of the cost. But I get where you're coming from. I view like the Rooney was 250. And the Lux Vega, after already going to Splinterfest, is going to be 700. But since I did it in DEC, it's probably going to be more like 400 by the end of it, right? Because of how I purchased it. So like you're really 400 and 300 for the two. It's only $700, and that doesn't push me from silver to gold. Like at the end of the day. So any move, like this is something that I've committed to in my collections, is I will not push to gold until I have everything maxed for gold. That's not the game that I want to play. I don't want to play with just 2 splinters maxed. I don't want to play with only some of my cards maxed. I want to be tournament ready when I decide to jump to the next league, right? And so every dollar spent in between that is literally just like rental income or stuff along those lines. Like I'd be maybe making like a bulk pack purchase just to like shotgun approach my collection and then like rent out the golds and all that stuff. So like at the end of the day, I'm looking for that like chunk of money or the steady creep there until I'm ready to flip the switch to gold, right? Because that'll end up being probably how it goes, right? I'll just keep putting money into like, as I collect the money, it'll go into staked SPS. It'll go into, LPs, stuff along those lines. And then when I'm ready to flip the switch, it'll come all at once. Like that'll essentially be the way that I go about it. So that's my mindset. The 750 doesn't make me a gold player right now. All it does was increase my rental fleet, and that's not worth it compared to passing to new cards that are going to be very meta, right?
So another comment about the one summoner deck. I feel like it would be too predictable playing only one summoner, even though you can play with any splinter. They will still know what buffs you want to bring in every time.
It's interesting though, like they can like you can counter it, but those are still just good base abilities that you can go with anything, right? So then you're getting into just the splinter metas, and you can't pin down a splinter meta, right? I mean, well, ish, but like then that actually kind of frees you up, like because if you're not Obsidian, if you're not Fernheart, like you can go into
what
green,
are you?
Like you can go into green and like
play magic, play melee, play range,
a little like a mixed team. When was the last time you brought a mixed team for green, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
like
right now I'm going magic. If I'm playing green, I'm going magic because I'm doing
Yeah.
obsidian, right? Largely. So that does actually free you up. I hear you.
Yeah,
Lux
it's
is
one
a
of the.
very interesting summoner for sure. Go ahead, Tails.
No, I was just gonna say, going to your point there. I mean, it is a summoner that's not like an obsidian. It's not going to be like a magic play that you're going to be bringing. Its benefits of armor, speed, and health work for every team. Whether
Yes.
you're magic heavy, balance, melee heavy, or archery heavy, in your
Doesn't matter
neutral,
what you are, literally.
you're going to get a different look with a skilled player every single game because you have no
Yeah.
idea what allied splinter they're going to bring with you. You'll know what benefits you get, right? The summoner
Sure.
benefits will be the same, but they're ubiquitous. They're good no matter what team you bring. So from that
Exactly.
perspective, it's more flexible than you might think as a single summoner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you had to choose a single summoner, this one would be the one to choose, right?
Yeah. So yeah, going back, I know that my strategy is unique. I know that and I've had to talk to players kind of about my strategy, and
They
know.
just they don't get it. They don't get it.
Well,
They just think
it's almost like I sometimes I talk people off cliffs, you know. It's like there's many times like we've had conversations like just stay away from Untamed. Don't put a single damn dollar into Untamed. It ain't for us. Generation Chaos doesn't touch Untamed cards. It's just not the way it is. You're wasting money. We will be champion level modern players when Rebellion comes out. Like that's always like the narrative, right? It's like just don't waste any money there. Stay focused on the future. And as soon as Untamed rotates out of Modern, we'll be ready, right? That's the mindset. And then, yeah, that's the other thing is like, don't half push your collection. Like, don't get tied up with a bunch of cards that are half combined to some weird like in between level that doesn't sell well, right?
You cannot go wide, bro. You got to go deep.
Like I would tell anybody trying to play level 5 summoners in gold to knock it off and to combine like, what is that, 6 or 7 bronze level summoners, throw them on the rental market, enjoy the DEC income, and go kill it in silver tournaments. Like, just stay in your lane, rent your cards while you're waiting, and then when you're ready to push to gold, push to gold. Like, that's generally my strategy there.
That's what I've been advocating since the start as well, Rogue. But my message really hasn't been received well. People take offense when I tell them stay in your lane, right? And I don't really understand why.
We like to swerve, bro. Stop telling us what to do. Our whole lives, you've been telling us what to do.
Well,
Let us
Legacy,
spread our wings, man.
you're actually one of them that you're playing a unique strategy to your collection as well, right? Your focus is brawls.
Yeah,
like you're
I
filling
really
a role.
Don't like ranked. I hate it. Like I don't like unless I can, and I really think they need to add, because like tournaments are awesome too, but they're on a time schedule. I don't really like to be on the, like, don't give me no times, man. I like to wake up when I want to and shit. But listen, but like, yeah,
Freedom.
he's got it. But like, no, like I really think they need like a competitive playlist. Like, I mean, I know they call that ranked already, but we need one aside from that, right? Where it's, you play an opponent, right, for like 5, it's best out of 5, right? The same opponent, and then you get like points towards a leaderboard, like, you know, every time you win or some shit, and like make it more competitive. Like, because when I just click ranked, like I feel like I could throw anything out there, and I just, like, you know what I mean, unless I'm getting like a really tough opponent, but that rarely ever happens. You know, like I could play sneak the whole time. It's like,
this touches very well on Luke's point about the upgrade to the leaderboard, right? So create a tournament where the top 10% of each bracket, each league, go into get a ticket into a tournament. They have a best out of 5, you know, versus everybody, or best out of 3. I don't know how to, you know, how many games that will turn out to be. Yeah. How much is 10% of Bronze League? How much is 10% of Gold? I don't know. But, you know, I think that would bring a whole extra level of challenge and also have the added benefit of really determining who is the top player in Gold League, who is the top player in Silver League, as opposed to I have the biggest collection, I get to whoop your butt, and there you go. It doesn't matter whether I'm a skilled player or not.
Deck.
Yeah, and that's it's pointless to me right now how the leaderboard board functions, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't plan on ever getting past I think eventually I'll combine. I mean, I think I'll try and go for like a solid gold foil gold league deck. I think that's where I'll end.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean I don't know, but I'm pretty sure all the way up we're gonna need gold league, gold foil.
Yep.
Yeah, so I figure that's a good spot, and I mean it's decent. I don't really play for rewards because I don't, but
no, that's a good
goal.
position to take so that the leader doesn't kick you out of the guild. You always have value.
Yeah, because that would be fucked if I had to give it to you.
Let's
just get booted out of my own shit. Hey, you're not keeping up, bro.
So yeah, Tails, kind of bringing it back. Rift Watchers at SPS. Do you think, or let me let me frame this question.
Tails doesn't
Do
think.
you
He just
feel
spits
like
out data.
He's just data
Okay.
from Star Trek. Do you feel programmed to respect SPS above its current price?
Yes,
You've
absolutely.
been watching Dwayne too much.
No,
Well,
it's
here's-
it's me too. This is not. I value SPS way more than this price.
I
So
value
why-
GLS way
And
more.
this-
Why would I
Well,
purchase
yes, right now.
Rift Watchers at this price?
And that's the issue and then that's why they want to move it to DEC, because DEC is underpeg and people will spend it to buy the packs. The problem right now with SPS is that, to your point, if there's no fiat coming in, you got a problem. Because if it's fiat, it's $5, and fiat is $5 in SPS. You do the exchange and you got a pack of Rift Watchers. The problem is with no external money coming in, and if you just have players in the game that are earning SPS, sure, they're earning it for free, but most of them believe it's worth more than 5.5 cents. So they don't want to pay 100 SPS for a Rift Watcher pack right now. And that's why you have a stalemate in the Rift Watcher pack. You have a very slow burn. Again, it's because they're trying to wring water from a rock. There's nothing left to get there right now. And that's why they're trying to kind of jumpstart the engine here. Say, hey, let's switch it so we can at least sell some of these packs. And to your point, I think that is the problem, is because if SPS was riding high, if it was 50 cents SPS, people are like, sure, I'll give you 10 of my SPS and get a Rift Watcher pack.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable. It's not going to happen the other way around, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's and I don't see SPS prices rising anytime soon. There's no, I mean, unless for some reason the GLX price is ridiculous, but I have no idea how a coin with no utility is going to be ridiculously priced, not in a bull market.
Well, listen, we're gonna be the first people that get that coin. So
I mean, we're already getting it. We just can't
yeah.
do anything with it.
Yeah.
I'll also be the first person to sell it, right? So
I'm
gonna
give
I'm
it
going
a
to
chance.
flip that into
Do that a bit.
SPS. I'm going to sell my GLS and I'm going to buy.
Krypton says
SPS.
GLX bids are up on Tribal X.
Mm.
Where are they at?
Yeah, I saw them one way though, not that there was any sell bids.
What are they buying for? What are they trying to?
I think it was 3 cents when I saw it, so it
Uh,
wasn't terrible. But
I think I'm keeping as many of those as I can. I'm gonna stake too because I think the platform's just gonna be huge. I mean, I don't know if MLS is gonna be that big. I mean, if the game's fun, cool, but there's a lot of other big leagues out there.
yeah, we'll find out. Yeah, Suitcase here just saying sell early, hold late, right, Rogue? Because when I met Suitcase when he was doing his own streams and everything on Twitch, I drank the Kool-Aid because I was really early in my SPS, and I'm holding every single SPS that I get. I'm like it's gold, right? And this man's just literally dropping SPS and just dumping it all into cards. He's like, the company's giving me like $1,000 a day. I'm going to go buy cards. I need to win in champion. Like, I need to increase my deck. So this is all going into this. And in my mind, I'm watching this man. I'm like, you're crazy. This is the best thing. I was like, oh, how would you? Like, it's going to be worth way more than $1,000. You're so nearsighted. Nope.
Nope.
This man's comfortably got a big deck now.
Yeah.
And he's probably got way more SPS now than he had back then because he's using that big
He's
deck
earning them in
and
tournaments.
he's
right?
beating the crap out of everybody else in champion and is earning all the SPS he was selling back then.
Which is great move, right?
Yeah. So yeah, come GLX. I don't know. We'll see how this kind of all plays out. I mean, if it turns out that I've got like $1,000 in GLX, yeah, it'll probably end up going into my Splinterlands deck, 100%. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so my opinion, they can switch over Rift Watchers to DEC. I'm not committed. I'm not super committed to SPS going to the DAO. I don't think we will. Cards are cards. They released a mini set.
Assets should 100% always be sold with DEC. Add other options,
and they will be.
Base,
they will be going forward. So why not retroactive this one?
So here's why not Rogue. So agreed. Rebellion should be sold with DEC, right? Mm-hmm. But you can't sell Rift Watchers for SPS when people just did a pre-sale literally a month ago, and you're going to sell it now for half price and change the rules of the game. Not only are you going to change the entry price of those cards, but the card values are going to drop significantly.
Yeah, really much. This isn't the first time they did this either, bro. I bought 3K SPS for Chaos Legion, and then they switched it to not fucking only SPS. I'll never get over that.
Okay,
but that was a ways into the sale, right? It wasn't a month later. We have to also remember that not only is once you introduce Rift Watcher packs at DEC pricing, your Hive Engine prices are going to come down 45% based on the peg right now. So your $4.12 Rift Watcher packs are going to be like $2.40. So all those people that are selling packs are going to take a loss. What does that tell you? What does that tell your initial investors, your most diehard Splinterlands community? It tells you never buy a pre-sale ever again because you're going to get burned.
Yeah,
they're going to take a loss.
They will.
Yeah, just wait.
No, because
the Hive Engine prices are going to be half the price they are now.
Yeah, but you got to remember,
not only that, but the card prices are going to be much lower too.
Yeah, but the SPS in which they bought during all of that was the same time I bought it, and that was like 40% ago. Like, we all bought when SPS was at like 7.8 cents, maybe 7.2. I can't remember exactly, right? But like, that was 40% ago, right? So like, I don't understand that argument. We all had SPS. It pumped in price right before Rift Watchers. We all got a nice sweet deal there. Now it's fallen back. So like, if you held your SPS and didn't buy in the pre-sale, then like, you're still out the same amount, right? So like, I would almost venture that you probably could sell, even if they sold this in DEC. If they sold Rift Watchers in DEC and the price tanked and you sold a Hive Engine pack for $3, you would probably make the same SPS back that you bought in the pre-sale.
You're flipping right now, probably at a break even at best for Rift Watcher packs that you bought in the pre-sale, and that's assuming you bought it with SPS, not fiat. If you bought it with fiat, you're screwed, right? And, yeah. So not only that, but anyone that owns Rift Watcher cards or is, thinking about selling Rift Watcher cards when this goes into effect, you're not only the pack prices in the secondary market can be cut down by 45% roughly, all the card values as well is going to get cut down. So, I mean, yes, if you're sitting on the sidelines, you're going to have a different view. Like if you have bought 0 Rift Watcher packs in the pre-sale and you've bought 0 Rift Watcher cards at this point in time, you're like,
what about somebody like me who's bought I bought 150 Chaos or Rift Watcher packs. Like I'm totally fine with this decision, because like at the end of the day, like I don't understand the people that want to try to maintain a floor or like maintain their value on something that is literally at 10% open. Here, hold on, let's go take a look at this. Like Rift Watchers is 10% open, 25% sale, or like 15%. Like, how can anybody hold on to card values when none of it's been opened or distributed? You know,
there's a lot more than none of it's been opened.
Yeah, hold on. 10. What is it? I can't read. So yeah, 20% of the set's been opened. A fifth of the set, and we're worried about a floor price or maintaining value from a pre-sale. How far away are we from the pre-sale of Chaos Legion? How many people like lost whatever millions they did there, like with the $25 voucher and the
that's a year. That's a year into it, right? We're talking like a month. There's a big difference. I mean, again, let me ask you this question as a counterpoint, Rogue.
Okay.
Who's asking for this change? Prior to them introducing this proposal, who is asking for the switch?
It actually came up in a conversation that I was having. I can't remember who it was with. It was just a player. It was like, how long do you think before they sell Rift Watchers in DEC? And I was like, I don't know. It'll probably be a minute, but like, I think it's inevitable. And it was like next week. It was like, oh.
You shouldn't be talking about Rift Watcher packs at this point in time. What we should be talking about is the elephant in the room, and it's Chaos Legion packs. And it's the burn that happens there, right? If you want to talk about something,
don't you tell me you want to burn cards.
I have a video on it. I think it makes sense to burn Chaos Legion packs if here's the if. Okay. Give it until December 31st. Put a time box on it to say, look, you buy all the Chaos Legion packs you want until December 31st. Anything not sold on December 31st is burned. So we're not burning anything until then, right? What does that allow you to do? It allows you to ramp up Chaos Legion sales, and likely it'll sell out 4 point whatever millions left before December 31st.
Do you think so?
Yes, I do.
Want to burn?
They have to get past. They have to get past Vega, in my opinion. Get past Vega and give us 2 months to get something like that going. But I could see the argument there. Let me ask you a question, just so I can see if we're fundamentally on a different level. Do you agree that there should be a time in between sets where there aren't packs on the shelf?
I do.
Yeah, see, you and I are fundamentally like different in that aspect. Like,
I think that's literally just to add value to the card.
Oh, it's my opinion, that's a crypto thing. That's not a game thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, never, and especially if we're gonna have like, this is where I guess where I can't see us having a product-backed stablecoin if we're literally gonna have 3 months without product.
Yeah.
What? Like, that's not a thing, you know? Yeah. And like, so I go back to all my trading card games, and it's like, trading card games are like have a 2-year life cycle when they're in standard, right? And now we've created a modern, and in my mind, you could have Chaos Legion on the shelf for 2 years. I would say, if you want to talk about burning it, burn it right before it rotates into modern. That's what I would say.
So let me ask.
No, that's a good idea.
I was going to say, I mean, you're comparing it to a traditional trading card game, but the trading card game that you came from, let me ask you this question. Was each card individually numbered and verifiable on the number of mints for it?
No.
Exactly. So it's kind of like a baseball card dilemma where you're trusting the company is saying we're minting this many copies for this amount of time, but you have no way to verify that. With crypto, it's all on the blockchain. It's all there, so you can't hide it.
But like, I'm not relying on any of that. I guess that's the point, is I'm playing a game. Right. Like in all the trading card games, I don't care. Like in all the trading card games I've ever played, I don't care how many are in existence. I don't need to know the exact number. I know what the meta cards are. I know what the general price of like meta decks are. I know how easily I can get my hands on them based on databases like trading card player and stuff along those lines, which would be the equivalent of like peak monsters and all of this. Like
the mint numbers are relevant in this case though, Rogue, because of the leveling of the cards. In your typical card collection game, you don't take cards, combine them 400 times to get a better card.
Yes,
that's the difference. Exactly. That's why mint numbers here matter, and that's why in this case timing also matters and availability matters.
And also, don't forget, you're right, you're saying that there's 3 months of no being able to purchase from the company, and that part is true. However, those cards are still purchasable on a market that anybody can list and sell cards on, an open trading environment. Unlike and while traditional trading card games can be sold, there wasn't a market like this where it could be.
Yeah, there is. It's called tcgplayer.com, and only like the people that like actually take time to do that. Like there's a in the gaming world, right? There are, specifically in the trading card world, there's few people that are financially oriented. I was one of them. I financially understood the value of the cardboard in which I was playing, and I made sure that I sold and wheeled and dealed in a way that like I was able to manage my collection responsibly. There's a lot of people that don't, right? In that space, they just buy, consume, and don't care, right? But in this specific game, like in my crypto gaming experience, that's all turned on its head. There's more people that are concerned financially with what they're doing than the game itself. And that's where I'm at fundamentally, because I understand in 5 years, this conversation we're having today doesn't matter. Chaos Legion is going to be pumped because it's a 5-year-old set. It's going to be pretty rare. A lot of stuff is going to be combined at that point, right? But everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to create these windows to just shorten the time frame of appreciation. Everyone wants their and that's where I'm just.
Yeah, I don't think we need to artificially inflate the cards for that 3-month period.
But why are you saying that you want to do the same thing for Rift Watchers and change it to DEC?
That's just to align with the rest of that's like really it's like a company alignment of goals. You know, the company says we have a product-backed stablecoin. Products should be sold with that product-backed stablecoin. That's really my only argument there. But
they should have announced that when they sold it a month ago. You shouldn't change the rules. It's not like DEC as a product-backed stablecoin was a new idea when Rift Watchers was released for sale, right?
Was it not? I can't remember the timeline on it.
And so here's the crazy thing. If you think about it this way, the concept of SPS burning to get DEC back to peg didn't exist, let's say 4 months ago. I don't know, don't quote me on the time frame, but let's just say 4 months ago, like around Terra Luna time frame, right? Didn't even exist. Well, I'm serious. Didn't even exist as a concept of the economy in Splinterlands. Was never mentioned, was never talked about. It was introduced earlier this year. And now that is the reason why they want to change everything on its head immediately, like right now, for whatever reason. I don't buy it. You can't change 180 degrees of the game's focus and direction and vision for a concept that literally was not even in the game 4 months ago. If you're telling me that's how the game is being run, I understand we're innovating here and we're kind of building the plane as we're flying it. But there has to be some structure, some restraint, just like you don't want to, let's say, necessarily burn Chaos Legion packs prematurely a year later. I'm saying you could say the same exact argument to say, why a month after Rift Watchers are you changing the game? And for what reason? Yeah, it's a product-based stablecoin. They've been talking about that before they talked about the burn of SPS to get DC back at peg. So it's kind of all in the same time frame. So it just doesn't make sense. Again, as a community, where we should be focused on are things that are impacting the gameplay today. It's the new user experience, it's the rating points, it's the champion level rewards. These are things that make a difference to players that are playing the game today and should be addressed. This other stuff is just noise. Again,
Ooh,
that's
here
just
you
my
go.
opinion.
Here you go. I got one for you. You burn Chaos Legion packs too soon, you're gonna be stuck with nobody playing in Champion and Diamond for like another year. Like nobody's gonna push once Chaos Legion starts to like get out of control again. Then you're gonna have to wait for the next generation of Rebellion people to do it, right? To be
See,
modern legal.
now we can have a conversation on number of players and number of cards, and we can have that conversation because I think that's the elephant in the room. Because again, I think the
How many
number of
elephants are there?
this is
There's
the one.
This is a big small room, a lot of elephants.
This is the one. This is the one that no one wants to talk about after the bots, right? After they've been squashing the bots and bringing them, kind of cutting them down to size. What no one wants to talk about is the player base that the assumption of Chaos Legion packs print rate was based on was flawed. It included way too many bots. Those bots are not playing anymore. You have way too many cards and you have actual players. And that's why, again, just look at the numbers. Pull up that chart again, Rogue. Look at those numbers. Take those numbers of players that have, let's say,
would we need a proposal if there weren't bots? Because, like, I feel like the competition would make it so that you would have to combine your cards to even rank up anyway.
Well, that's kind of where we're at,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, just
like,
take
would we
that
need
figure.
That is my experience in modern Legacy, right? So, it is difficult to play. There are no bots giving you easy wins, right? So if you don't have a max, whatever, you suffer. You find it much, much harder to play.
That's my point. We wouldn't even need this proposal if there was no damn bots, because it would filter it out itself, really, because if you didn't have the cards, the other players that you were playing against with the cards would beat you and knock you down. But since there's all these bots to play, you can just rank up to wherever you want, really. I mean,
so I guess let me ask you this, Tails. How much Untamed have you purchased in your climb to being at the top? Like you're grinding in Champion, right?
He's an animal.
Yeah, more than I want to pay for. Yeah, I don't want to admit how much I bought. So I don't have a max level Kitty. I don't have a max level Yodern. I don't have a max level, Chances or any of this.
Do you have like suboptimal levels then?
I do, yeah, and I'm regretting buying those because I need for me to actually use those cards. I have to have my max level.
Yeah, they don't help. They don't help at all, right? So I guess this is where so you are experiencing trying to play at the top levels of the game without being able to financially get what is supposed to be modern, right? Supposed to be like the two most recent sets, the most affordable format in the game is what modern is supposed to be, and you cannot play at the top level because the one set has just soared in appreciation
because of the print run. Again, the print numbers for Untamed versus Chaos Legion are completely different. So, and that's going back to the discussion around the Chaos Legion burn again.
So wouldn't you would you be happier if you had the ability to get in on Untamed? So I guess maybe I'm thinking of the next generation, right? Like Generation Rebellion when they come in, whoever it is, while we are in Chaos Rebellion Modern, I don't think that artificially Chaos Legion has to be out of print while it's modern. That's almost like a staple that I want to have the company write, is that while it's modern, we won't burn it. You have to buy it all while it's modern.
So here's I got you. Go ahead. No, finish. Sorry.
No, and it would just be and then if it doesn't sell by the time it rotates out of modern, then we will burn all the remaining packs. That's a timeline that I can agree with.
What is that timeline?
Modern is supposed to be the cheapest, most efficient way for players to compete in the game.
Yep. Here's the problem with that, though. Just real quick, Damour. Sorry, let me just address that. No problem. So the problem with that is the timeline. The timeline for that to happen, could be 8 months later. before you even get Chaos Legion sold out. So those newbies that you're trying to have come into the game for a cheap price could basically put the company in a financial situation that makes it untenable, because they can't sell product, because they can't move product because the numbers and the number of players, etc. So while you're waiting for those players to come in and buy packs, the game could be dying on the vine, in theory. I don't know the financials and stuff, but again, you want to have product that fits your user audience, that users want to buy, whether they're existing users or new users. So I understand you want to keep product on the shelves that people can buy at a reasonable price. That's fine. But at some point, you have to realize that, again, talking about the elephant is, no one wants to talk about it, but the 75 million Chaos Legion packs are larger than the current player base can consume. So what'll happen here, in my opinion, is if you go with the mentality that, hey, we're ride or die in here, we're just going to ride this out till 15 million packs are gone, it'll probably be 8 months from now. It'll probably be June of next year. And most of the packs won't be sold. Most of the packs will be given out as rewards under the counter just to get Splinterlands to proceed to get to Rebellion. And that's what'll happen.
Why do they have to wait? Like, they don't have to wait for Chaos to be gone to release Rebellion. That's where like, in my mind, this is one of my big issues with the game, is they should be on a 1-year time schedule, release a new set every year, like clockwork, a new set every year, be on a 2-year rotation for modern, like clockwork, and a mini set in between, and it should be consistent. And it shouldn't be driven by how quickly the previous one sells. You know what I mean? Because, like, that's just, I don't know. That's not how games. I don't know. That's maybe it's just, that's generally where I think
you have to decouple the game from the DeFi. If the game Splinterlands was just a game and nothing but a game, then yes, I agree with you, because then you're talking about pure game mechanics. That's fine. The problem is there's DeFi aspects of the game that also underpin the economy in the game itself, that function on a scarcity and rarity basis. So you can't ignore that economic factor as part of the game. If you do so, it's a little naive, honestly.
Okay.
Because you can't decouple it. It's built into the game.
I guess, but I've always viewed like because of what I know about trading cards and everything, there's plenty of DeFi that happens in just managing a trading card game and managing collections and, buying and selling on the secondary market. And as long as they can just be consistent, they don't need to artificially change anything if they're just on a schedule, And I feel like because of how young the company is still and how much changing that they're doing, we still can't just get on that consistent schedule, right?
Yeah. Well, I agree with the schedule. Go ahead, Damour, sorry.
2 possible ways, that we could fix this, right? So create an unlimited amount of packs. Set a timer, let's call it 31st of December, where, and I like Euthen's idea here. So the packs don't get burned, but a certain amount go into the DAO at that stage, becoming unavailable for sale at that point in time. If our player base increases, those could be opened up again for sale at the standard prices that they were originally, right? So you wouldn't adjust those. Let's say we suddenly grow by, 30,000 members. You could consider opening up, a certain amount of those packs from these previous sets. If needed. And if it's not needed, keep them locked away and, burn them. If our community is not growing, if there is no demand for these, no reason to release them and, ultimately burn them. Let's put a date on that as well. Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? I don't know. But I think those things together could very well solve some of these issues.
Can I play devil's advocate with that, Damour?
Please do.
Yes.
So if you take, let's say, 4.5 million Chaos Legion packs off the market right now and stuff them in the DAO, right?
Yeah.
And say, okay, Chaos Legion packs are gone. Go ahead and market, let the markets market. Obviously, the prices of Chaos Legion packs are going to go up. Obviously, the price of Chaos Legion cards are going to go up. What happens then is you have a market uncertainty because you never know when that extra supply will be injected back into the economy. So instantly overnight,
Random proposal later.
Yeah, a DAO decision later, all of a sudden your cards that you were selling and buying, let's say you were buying, and selling Demon Sharks for $10 a BCX. The next day, the DAO announces, hey, we're releasing 4.5 million Chaos Legion packs at regular prices. Your Demon Shark just went down to under $1. So with that perspective, it's like the stock market saying, hey, would you like to buy some shares of IBM? Sure. Oh, by the way, we're going to issue, just out of the blue tomorrow. Here's another 5 million shares. We're just going to throw it on the market. Here, have at it. You can't do that to a market. You can't do it to a free market. It's going to kill it.
I hear you.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Interesting. Well, guys, holy crap! It's been 2 hours.
We've had a really long session. It's been awesome, though.
No, we had a good conversation. I think I'm glad that I was finally able to have a conversation with somebody that has, that opposite
like
view
above
of
6
the game that I
IQ.
do.
Because me and Damour over here are just low IQs.
No, honestly, it's been great because there are many ways to play the game of Splinterlands.
Absolutely.
And that's the beauty of our community, and that's the beauty of this project, and that's the beauty of the world that we live in right now, is everybody is experiencing this through a different pair of glasses. Everybody's experiencing this with a different size pocketbook, and everybody's got different goals and aspirations for the future. And so, I'm really excited, and I'm glad that we're able to get on and we're able to talk about these things and, communicate with everybody here, and get all these ideas out, get them talking about it, because at the end of the day, it is our responsibility at this point now. It has been passed over to us to be the ones, that are going to vote and decide and to push the direction of this company. So, open dialogue and discourse will be the only way forward from here. So, Tails, Damour.
Can I add just two quick items, Rogue, before we close
of course,
out?
dude.
3 or 4 minutes. Go.
So I will just say that the Splinterlands company has shown that they're obviously open to ideas from the community and taking directions and implementing those things. Just the LP reward change was just a recent addition. So this conversation in the community, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's in Discord, whether it's on Twitter, people are paying attention at the Splinterlands and they're listening, and that's good. Most companies, like Web 2 companies, could care less, right? And so this is the power of this community and this game, and I love the conversations. And just my final point here, when we were talking with Llama and Dwayne and Steve and Jim earlier today, what Jim's idea was, and you'll find this kind of funny, Rogue, was to have a new series on YouTube where he had 2 opposing points of view would come into a stream and debate it out, and Jim would be the moderator or the referee. So
nice.
That would be very interesting.
Sign us up, round 1, baby. Round 1
for sure. My Rooney versus your Rooney.
Yeah. Oh.
Shots fired.
Let's go.
Shots fired for sure.
Let's go. No, I appreciate that, guys. So, Tails, Damour, Legacy, thank you guys very much for coming out tonight. Thank you for experiencing Rooney, talking metrics, talking proposals, talking all things Splinterlands. And guys, thank you for joining us. We've had a very dedicated crowd tonight. Awesome job jumping in the chat, helping us guide the conversation. Please share this with your friends, get it out there. I think we had a very good 2-hour conversation, and we could use more people coming by the YGG SPL channels because we've got a good thing going on over here at YGG SPL, and I know all of you guys know it because you guys are in it. You guys are part of the guilds, so like everybody in the chat is part of YGG, right? So like
YGG members.
like let's share it, let's get it out, let's share some love. All right, but we from YGG SPL will see you next time on the weekend challenge. We have the Saturday morning show with Damour, 6 a.m. Eastern, and then that night, Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, we have the other weekend challenge. So 2 tournaments this Saturday. Please sign up, join up, and come compete. But as for everybody here, have a wonderful night, and GG everybody. Sweet dreams.